Just as when we experience hunger, our consciousness consists mostly of other neural interactions for consuming food. This is not the result of some core self giving commands to different cerebral areas. All the different parts of the brain become active and inactive and interact without a core. Just as the pixels on a screen can express themselves as a recognizable image when in unity, the convergence of neural interaction expresses itself as consciousness. At every moment, we are in fact a different image, a different entity when mirroring, when hungry, when watching this video. Every second, we become different persons as we go through different states. When we use our mirror neurons to look at ourselves, we may construct the idea of identity. But if we do this with our scientific understandings, we see something completely different.
It is so important to understand left brain and right brain thinking. Like it suggested that if you completely got rid of your right brain, you wouldn't even notice that something different was happening. It would be, you'd perceive your world as everything was just natural. You get rid of the left brain and live with your right brain, you won't even notice anything's wrong. It's, when I was going through, life as hell, and my daughter had a friend come over and seen our life as hell, and she didn't really quite know that her abusive experience was wrong until she seen it in somebody else's house. She thought it was normal. And that's what when you live with insanity, you think insanity is the right way. You don't realize how wrong it is because you think it's right. I don't know how else to explain it, but if you get hit over the head with a hammer, you wake up every freaking day of your life getting hit over the head with a hammer. You think that's normal. That's the way you live life, is you're supposed to beat me. Everybody does that. Nobody talks about it, but I know inside everybody's house they're all getting beat because that's the way life is. So to take away, your right brain and leave you just with your left brain, you will see it normal because you're viewing from what you think is normal. Take the left brain away, and you'll think it's normal because you can't comprehend anything else. So understanding what's going on and making you a little self-aware really will help you see whether you're really as normal as you think you are. Left brain is all your logic, it's all your rules, it's all your beliefs. They play over and over and over again like a tape recorder. I learned this from going in and taking computer programming. Think of your computer or a website or a software program as a human body. Okay, in order for it to function, it has business rules. Every business, every corporation has a business rule. Your body has business rules. They're stored and made up in the left brain. And they're all they're all if statements. If this happens, do that. While this is going on, do this. There's variations of different if type statements, but it's all a form of guiding you down the path that you want to go down. And to live in your left brain is insanity, because it only deals with life rules from the past. It can never deal with something new in the future. And things are always changing. So your left brain is constantly recreating the past. Every hell that you've ever gone through, because that's where you get your rules from, is from your survival instincts. You know, it's all about how do I make my life great, and here are the rules in making my life great. Now, your perception of great is something to be desired as we see the whole planet collapse. A lot of people are maybe a little wrong, but it's you're using the same rules that don't apply anymore. You know, they never did. It's like as soon as you develop a rule, it was the rule for that moment, that time, that event. You need to create new rules with every type of problem that comes up. Otherwise, you're just repeating and mirroring it over and over again. Right brain is love. Right brain is imagination. Right brain thinks of new ideas. So that's why the two don't get along, because one wants to stay the same, and this always works. It always worked in the past. The right brain says, maybe not. You know, what about this? What about that? And it's constantly rejecting until, you know, if the right brain can be smarter than the left brain, outwit the logic, but right brain is just magical. It's just belief. You know, like believe in something you can't see, touch, or feel. Just it's out there. You know, like it's a magician where it shows you the end result, but not the you know, it's a secret. You know, it is love. It is heart. There's no reasoning to it. It just is. And it's amazing. But while it's so amazing, it doesn't have the language to talk logically to the left brain, to convince the left brain to do what's the right thing. It has to be such a great feeling that you'll be, oh God, that felt real good. That felt so good. I'm willing to get rid of my rules of survival. So that is the challenge. That's where you have to create the feelings, because feelings are the only way the right brain manipulates the left brain out of its insanity. But I think that in our future, we're merging the two brains together. It's like good and bad are coming together. It's like God and Satan are now making up. And this is what our evolution is going to be about, is maybe listen to that right brain, because that right brain actually brings you all of the pleasure that you ever could imagine. The left brain will create all of the hell that you never ever want to experience. And there's lots of different ways that you can stimulate right brain and sort of see it and recognize it. But there's a thought, something to know about your left and right brain. Continuing on.
The neural synergies that produce our oscillating consciousness go far beyond our own neurons. We are equally the result of cerebral hemispheres interacting electrochemically, as we are of the senses connecting our neurons to other neurons in our environment. Nothing is external. This is not a hypothetical philosophy. It is the basic property of mirror neurons, which allow us to understand ourselves through others. Seeing this neural activity as your own while excluding the environment would be a misconception. Our superorganismal features are also reflected in evolution, where our survival as primates relied on our collective abilities. Over time, the neocortical regions evolved to permit the modulation of primitive instincts and the overriding of hedonistic impulses for the benefit of the group. Our selfish genes have come to promote reciprocal social behaviors in superorganismal structures, effectively discarding the notion of survival of the fittest. The brain's neural activity resonates most coherently when there is no dissonance between these advanced new cerebral regions and the older, more primitive ones. What we traditionally call selfish tendencies is only a narrow interpretation of what self-serving behavior entails, wherein human characteristics are perceived through the flawed paradigm of identity, instead of through a scientific view on what we are. A momentary expression of an ever-changing unity with no center. The psychological consequences of this as an objective belief system allow self-awareness without attachment to the imagined self, causing dramatic increases in mental clarity, social conscience, self-regulation, and what's often described as being in the moment.
Okay, that part I don't think they quite explained it all that well. There is a lot of chatter that says everything out there is like a holographic game, like nothing external is real. In a way that's right, in a way that's wrong. Everything that you perceive externally is coming from you. You are building it, you are creating it. It's real. But everything external is real and is a reflection of you. You are mirroring it. To get to know self is to get to know your external world and how you relate with it. We're not connecting the dots that extreme wealth creates extreme poverty. The two are directly connected. They're both got control issues. One can't control themselves and need to control other people. The others can't control themselves and need to be controlled by somebody else. They're both control issues. The survival of the fittest, we've been thinking that the fittest is the right brain, which is totally insanity. So basically, you would never think of somebody that's mentally retarded, which somebody typically that is mentally retarded is right-brained, and generally they're the happiest people. They will show you what happiness is about. They're here on the planet to show you what happiness is, because they're stuck on happy. Where the left brain is all logic that makes everything wrong. But they're the strongest, they're the logical ones. They're the ones that make up all the rules, and they're the ones that are going to survive it all. And yet they're the ones that are so totally insane they're going to kill themselves, and they don't even know it. Right brain will tend to constantly enjoy life and always find ways to keep living. So the strongest survives would be the one with the right brain. They would be the strongest. If you are strong in love, they would be the strongest of humanity. So you will get to know who you are. We will get to know society when you start seeing the reflection of who you are. When you see the direct causes of your behavior out into society. It's like taking responsibility for your sins. Don't be going asking Jesus, oh, just forgive me, and thinking that you're going to be saved. No, you get saved when you see your reflection and how your actions actually affect other people, society, the society you want to live in, the healthy society that you want to live in. You might want to stop your freaking sinning because you're destroying your environment. The right brain or the left brain is busy saying, I don't have to worry about cutting all those trees down. I'm making a lot of money. Where the right brain person would be, no, don't cut that tree down. I love sitting underneath it. I love looking at it. It's so pretty. the right brain may not have the logic to that tree is giving you oxygen. If we cut it down every tree on the planet, there is no air for you to breathe.